Now in Unity there is a special type of function called an event, and the only way this differs from a standard function is the way in which it is run. We saw previously that we could call a say hello world function to print hello world to the console 5 times. That is a standard function because we run that ourselves. We called the say hello world function whenever we wanted to run it. But in Unity, an event is a special function. It is a function that is called automatically and we don't have to worry about running it. If I return to the MonoDevelop here, and you can see in the player control C# script, we have our standard code that we've seen before. This is inside the late update function. And if you look elsewhere in this script file, you will see that we never run the late update function ourselves. If I copy this code and I just paste it into here, we don't see a statement like this, like late update, something calling late update. No, that's because this function late update is being called automatically by the Unity engine. This kind of function is called an event, and that really is all an event is. In particular, this late update event is called, as it says here, once per frame, which means that if our game is 30 frames per second, then this will be called 30 times per second. And if our game were 25 frames per second, it will be called 25 times per second. Now Unity gives us all kinds of different functions that we can use, and we're going to be exploring some of them much later in this course. We've seen some already. For example, in the Hello World project, we saw the start function, which is called automatically by Unity as our game begins. I'm going to jump over to the ammo C# script here and just minimize MonoDevelop. When I click the play button on the toolbar and I press space, we shoot our ammo. Now these ammo objects have an ammo script attached to them, and the purpose of this script really is to control the movement of our ammunition. So when we fire ammunition, it travels all the way along here and hits the cube. The motion of this ammunition is coded inside the ammo script file. If I open up the ammo script file, the motion of the ammunition is encoded in just this one line. Let's just remove this line. I can do that by either deleting it completely or by inserting 2 forward slashes in front of it to turn it into a comment. You will notice that it turns grey to indicate that it's a comment and now will be ignored. I will press Ctrl S on the keyboard to save this, return to Unity here. Our code is now compiled. I'm going to stop playback of our game and start playback again. This time when I press the space bar, you will see that the ammunition doesn't move, it just remains in place. And that is because we removed the motion script in the file. Let's just return back to the ammunition file. You will see that this function here is the update function, and very similar to the late update function in the player control script. This function is called once per frame, so for a game that's 30 frames per second, this will be called 30 times per second. And what this code does here that we've removed is it controls the motion of our ammunition. It uses the transform class to do that, and again we're going to be looking at that in more detail later in this course. I will restore this script back to how it was so that this function restores to normal. Press Ctrl S on the in the MonoDevelop here, move down and just choose play, and we'll see again our code is restored to normal. So really that's an overview of events. Events are something that we're going to be looking at later in this course.